everyone, welcome to today's episode of My POV. In today's episode, I will be discussing a topic very close to my heart, that is internet slangs beyond trash talk. Now let's take a look at the following screen. How many of these words do you actually recognize? And out of all these words, how many did you actually understand? Honestly, these are not the kind of words that I was being brought up with. These are not the words that my friends used when we were all growing up. And definitely these are not the words that I use in my day-to-day conversations at work. Am I a boomer? Maybe. Now take a look at the following screenshots of WhatsApp conversations between youths today. How is this even a conversation? So what are all these new vocabularies sprouting all over the internet and permeating conversations between our youths today? This new set of vocabulary is called the internet slang, or a set of lingo used among internet users, especially the youths, which defies the conventions of standard English language. Internet slangs have become increasingly dominant due to the pervasiveness of social media. And now, the concern here is that the overwhelming use of shortened forms, slangs, and incorrect sentences on social media has adversely affected the academic writings of youths. The future is unclear as more and more generations of youths grow up with technology that embraces internet slang. So it is inevitable then that there arises this common misperception that internet slangs are just empty, trashy talk that defies the standards of good English and that has adversely affected the ability of our youths to communicate in good, standard English when the situation requires them to. Well, perhaps if I could get you to hold on to your thoughts for a bit, we can try to reposition our thoughts and perceptions about internet slangs in this episode. Now, the first point that I would like to make is that internet slangs are not just empty, trashy talk. They are, in fact, a code of communication developed in response to particular developments in society, and in this case, in response to the development of the internet age. In fact, internet slangs help digital users to convey ideas, thoughts, and emotions and helps them make meaning of the new encounters faced in the digital sphere. And because they realize that the words that they can use on the internet can also convey what they feel on a day-to-day basis, these slangs spill over to daily conversations outside of the digital space. So in this regard, internet slangs are not entirely empty and trash. They are in fact a code of communication that holds meaning and helps put a description to the encounters of internet users. The second point I would like to make here is that internet slangs, as with other forms of slangs, are transient and fleeting. Slangs are here to stay, but the words will continue to evolve and probably dissolve in response to social changes and social temperament. Take, for example, the recent news article published by Channel News Asia on 13th October 2022. According to the Perspectives Global Survey, our youths, or the Gen Zs, have cancelled a set of emojis which are deemed by youth consensus as being old and unfashionable. So getting back to internet slangs, the point I'm making here is that getting rid of one set of internet slangs will not prevent the next set of slangs from coming up. On a brighter side of things, internet slang words have actually enriched our current vocabulary toolbox. Several words from the internet slangs have actually made it to the Merriam-Webster dictionary, making words such as hangry, fave, and the abbreviation for too long didn't read acceptable for use on formal occasions. The last point that I would like to make is that internet slangs are not the first set of informal language to have emerged in society. Slangs have existed in society as a form of communication for a long time. Take, for example, Singlish or Singaporean English. Singlish is a locally developed slang and is today recognized as an integral part of the Singaporean identity. While traditionally used in its spoken form, social media has in fact helped Singlish find its written form, and it continues to be widely used by Singaporeans both in the digital sphere and the non-digital sphere. And so, my dearest viewers, slangs are not unique to the digital age we live in right now. It is not a problem of the internet, it is not a problem of the use. The rise of internet slangs are a part and parcel of societal development. I am proposing that our current discomfort with the use of internet slangs among our youth is due to the pervasiveness of social media, which has pushed out internet slangs to a wider scope, thereby making the internet slangs more pronounced and more evident. So what is it in for us? Do we really have to live with the pervasive use of internet slangs and tolerate it when such words permeate the academic works of our youth? Do we really have to bear the cringe of hearing our youths use such lingo even in formal occasions? Do we really have to accept this communication breakdown between us and the Gen Zs? What then do we do as educators? So here's what I think. Instead of fighting the battle of eradicating internet slang, it would be more worthwhile to consider how we can educate youths to code switch appropriately, both in the physical context and in the digital sphere. Simply put, code switching is the process of adjusting our language, syntax, grammatical structures, and vocabulary in order to fit the situation. For instance, youths can be taught that the use of internet abbreviations and slangs can be used in social media communication between friends. However, in academic lessons, in daily conversations with adults, and in formal situations, youths must strive to use standard conventional English in order to be understood. To end this episode of My POV, I go back to the root of the issue. Is internet slang just trashy talk? Does it pose a challenge to conventional good English? I hope this video has presented you with a different way of looking at internet slangs. Perhaps you should keep up with times and embrace internet slangs too, but of course, at the right time and the right place.